Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, that might be somewhat better. Okay, I'll explain what's going on in a minute and why that's all gone mad. Might have just had silence. Silencio. Boop. Close that. My feet! No, I'm good. Ooh. Oh no. Well, that's ruined it, isn't it? That's the stream ruined already. Hope you can hear me. Hello? So I have half built my computer. My new computer, half built. So I say it's half built because I've yet to receive the GPU. And I've not done any cable management at the moment. Let me show you. See all these cables? It was just built to make sure it worked. So please, that is not how it's gonna look when it's done. So just plugged it all in to make sure it worked. Working. I'm using it now. That's what's happening. So yeah. Still waiting on my GPU. So waiting on my 3080. Or might be a 3090, I'm not even sure anymore. Can't remember if I changed it over or not. I've sent my old CPU, which is still pretty good to be honest, 3950X to Zin. Because I think that's going to be pretty suitable for her editing needs. We're waiting on a 3080 for her as well. At the moment she's got a 3070. I'm running a 2080 Ti. Which is, I mean, they're good GPUs. They are good GPUs. Obviously, we're wanting to move into 4K, though, for videos and all that sort of stuff. So, upgrading Zin's PC has been erratic and hellish. So, we've bought her just random components of stuff that she said she needs. But I ask her, Zin, do you need this? And she goes, no. Oh, no, I don't think so. And then 2 days later, she'll be like, oh yeah, I need more RAM. This is very specific to my anger. Not anger. My anger today. Where after getting everything else, I got a new motherboard, got a new CPU. Well, I said new CPU, sent my old CPU. New GPU. I need new RAM as well. What? I've already sent you some new RAM. Yeah, but it's trash RAM. And it is trash RAM. So gonna get some 8-pack. Low latency. Why is computers expensive? Hopefully that will mean we can have 4K videos at a frame rate that is not trash. So let me talk about this actually. This is a thing. The 3.13 should have, by the time it's released, much better frame rates, or at least utilization of more CPU cores, meaning that you shouldn't have 100% CPU utilized bugs, and you shouldn't have so much of a CPU bottleneck with the game. That is really good. At the moment, yeah, at least in the previous PTU patch, because we're on to 3.13J now, on the previous PTU patch, they had sort of implemented some of this, but it seemed to offload some of the GPU sort of resources onto the CPU, which is not ideal on people that have got trash CPUs or not super modern great CPUs. So that was causing people to have really low frame rates, and there's lots of other problems causing really low frame rates in 3.13 as well, or at least lower than previous patches. So, but the overall plan is for it to be in a very good place once it's released. And 3.13 is a bit lighter on content than I would have liked, but it is, if it gets everything in and it gets everything accessible, we have all the accessibility to missions, cargo getting fixed, bounty hunting being playable, and that sort of stuff, it will actually be a pretty good patch, and put 3.14 and any events that they've got planned this year, or this quarter, should go pretty well because of that. PT uses way more CPU on my system, but I get way more frames. Yes, as long as you're not hitting bottleneck with that, you're doing good. Like, you should be, you know, it uses way more CPU. That's a good thing if you're not bottlenecking at CPU. So there's some stuff that you can do to help with that as well. You can, in the NVIDIA control panel, if you're running an NVIDIA card, you can set your max frames for like Star Citizen to 60 and things like that. You can tweak some of those settings. Turn off low latency mode as well. Low latency mode in Star Citizen does not work very well, in my opinion. Yeah, Ryzen 5800X, great CPU. I was going to buy a 5800X for Zin, but the double the amount of cores on the 3950X is what she was after. That's what she said she wanted to prefer that. I was like, you can have that, or you can have a 5800X. So yes, I hope everyone is doing well. So I thought I'd have a bit of a rant about stuff. This is what I do here. Have a bit of a chat, have a bit of a rant. We talk about some Star Citizen. If you'd like to ask a question during the stream, question in brackets. That will allow me to grab it from the chatters, and I take questions from everything I see. If it's on, it might be if it's on Twitter, maybe if it's on. Well, Twitter's probably harder for me to pull up because I don't run Twitter when I'm streaming, because Twitter, even in safe search, even the safe modes, still shows questionable content, shall we say. I've got some money off vouchers for takeaway, but I'm on keto at the moment. So so when we start the stream, I just chat randomly for a while before we get into more Star Citizen stuff, or maybe interchange it. So I'm on keto at the moment. I've gone to the keto diet. I'm found it very hard to start with because I was like 20 grams of carbs. Oh, that would be easy. But carbs are in everything. Like, and then you're sort of going, well, I'll just have a load of veg. Oh no, there's like 12 grams of carbs in this 200 grams of veg. Oh, okay, well, that's most of my allowance for the day. And then you can't have any sugar, and sugar's directly carbs, obviously, but elevating your blood sugar is bad for keto and gets you out of ketosis. And the idea is that you get your body into ketosis with low carb amount and low blood sugar, and then your body burns ketones and burns fat basically as fuel, which looks pretty healthy. I am not a dietary advisor. I'm just telling you what I understand of it and what is happening with me. I've lost 10 pounds already, which is absolutely fantastic. I gained I lost a load of weight before from dieting, just being healthier, and eating lower carbs, but not low carbs. And now I've moved over to this. After a while of a little bit of headaches and a little bit of being tired, still a bit tired at the moment, it's getting a load better. I'm sort of able to eat that diet, which is very high fat, and it's protein, loads of fat, and you don't feel hungry. To start with the diet, I was hungry all the time. I was constantly wanting to eat. Now, when I eat, I'm full. Like, I'm full for hours longer than I would be normally. So, I can recommend that some people that want to try a diet have a look at it. But it's not going to work for everyone, probably. I want to do exercise and stuff as well. I think it's working relatively well for me. I'm probably losing some muscle mass, so I need to do some lifting or something. You even lift, bro? La 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 la. Yeah, new computer, so half the settings are not working. So bear with me if I am like, oh no, what's going on? Why is this broken? I need to get a new video for the background, so we're going to start every couple of weeks updating the B-roll for the stream so it is more relevant again. Yeah, 32 gigs of RAM is sort of great for Star Citizen. You can get away with 12 for Star Citizen if your computer is super geared towards Star Citizen and that's all you do on it, not running anything else in the background. However, 16 is really recommended, and 32 is, if you're going to be doing other stuff, especially with memory leaks and stuff, 32 gigs is great. Okay? Sweet spot at the moment, 32 gigs. Make sure you'll install it on a fast SSD. There's a load of computer talk. Yeah, so Windlord, I originally bought a 5900X. However, because they wouldn't deliver it to me, even after 6 months, so I upgraded it to a 5950X. And I now have it. So I'm happy with the 5950X. I mean, I do think the 5900 is a sweet spot, because, what is it, just $500-ish, £500. Say just. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the new Intel series of processors. They seem to be a rush job, and AMD seem to have them beaten this generation, which is good. I like competition. I want them to have a bit of a fight. It gets us better hardware cheaper, typically. And you're getting really bad FPS on your i5-8400. I'm not sure of how good that processor is, but I would expect at least reasonable of the 8 series. 1060, it's an okay card now. It's for like 980 sort of 980 Ti levels. Yeah, getting a 3070 would be great. I think that especially with the 3.13 updates as well, you're probably going to have a much better time, and with CPUs being used a bit better. Oh yeah, 5900X is productivity. I mean, you can do lots of stuff with it. It's not, so 5800X is great for gaming. Yeah, you could probably go a little bit lower than that to have a great gaming CPU. But at 3800, if you're doing a little tiny bit of productivity stuff, if you're doing a little bit tiny of editing and video stuff, it's probably good for you. 5900, fantastic productivity CPU. 5950X, which is what I went for in the end, sort of because my hand was forced somewhat. So hopefully going to be much better for 4K editing. Did you see the 3.13 video, Phase 1 Gaming Redefined? So, I heard people talk about it. I've not seen it yet. I will take it out. If it is morph levels of B-roll, great. I'll show it to my editor and go, do this! Because she's not just an editor, she's a capturer and general channel aide. And, you know, everything I'm bad at, which is most things. Motion blur, screws with frame rate. Yeah, there's loads of settings you can turn off. I will update my Star Citizen performance guide on the website and the user.cfg guides and do a video for it and a PSA of how to get ready for 3.13 live. For sure. You've had your order for your 3080 since Jan 1st? Well, that's interesting. I've had mine since September, October, I think. My 3080. Let's have a look. Let's have a look when I ordered my 3080. I'm out. I'm trying to. Let me have a look. When did it actually? 17th 09. September 17th. They are September 17th. So it's been a while. I'm still waiting for my GPU, and some people that ordered it after me have got theirs from the same place. Huh. Really annoying. We're in Southampton Beach. What? We don't have a beach. I'm in Southampton, next to us, as you may well know. Really busy, just popping in to say hi. Gas Giant Tech reveal looks awesome. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute as well, because I expect this quarter to be not them just showing off Horizon, but them showing off Crusader and the gas clads. Sort of like a focus on that. Hope you're doing well, Board. No worries, mate. I appreciate the love. Right, what do we got? Should be an awesome stream today. Yeah, so I want to talk about the ROC DS. I want to talk a little bit about the latest PTU patch. Some of the monthly report things. Crusader and Horizon. Could we get some more ships in the near future? Fleet Week. Why isn't Anna's character here wearing the dress still? Why is it in a suit? We're not going to talk about that, but... Good luck getting your GPU before Star Citizen's released. Nice. You monster. So, I will name and shame the company properly once I've got my hardware from them. I don't want them to cancel my order now that I've been waiting for it for so long from them. But I'll probably grab a 3080 Ti. Actually, I can't remember if I upgraded my 3080 to a 3090 now. I was going to. I'll have to check. They take ages to respond. All this GPU busyness is just a fad anyway. You kids will be back to your hula hoops or whatever. Thanks. Yeah. Needing a GPU is overrated. Okay. Potentially. Yeah, why not? Need more RAM. Well, so Zin does have a reasonable amount of RAM. However, because she's got a new CPU and new motherboard, and it's Ryzen. Ryzen does very well with better timing RAM. So, Infinity Fabric stuff. 12th gen API when? Looking forward to direct storage access for GPUs. So, for Star Citizen's Gen 12 renderer and Vulkan support, that looks like they're going to be putting that in its first true iteration very soon. You can see it on the roadmap. If I can actually bring up the featured deliverable. Gen 12. G12. Gen 12 renderer. Let me do this. Beep. Beep. So you can see on the roadmap at the moment, which has been updated, so it's actually got some much better ways of being able to filter and grab and look at the data. Although you do have to be a bit of a wizard to understand how it all works, but it's still not the best. So it's got a load of different work going on to the Gen 12 renderer at the moment, which is going to phase out DirectX 11, have Vulkan there instead, and have a load of other optimizations and options menus and things like that. Graphics options they're working on at the moment, Gen 12 renderer stuff they're working on at the moment. That work they currently have listed ends in June, and I am expecting to see Gen 12 renderer and graphics options and things like that in the 3.14 patch because of that. That is my expectation. Board, did you have a game name as Wormy? No. It's super easy to use and understand. I'm not sure if you're memeing or not, Zin. But I hope you are doing well. Are you in chat? No, you're not. Feel free to come into chat if you wish. Zin, I know you're working. So Zin at the moment is working on Squadron 42 video and the latest PTU patch video. I was Ethereum mining, but now scared of burning my 1080 Ti before my 3080 arrives. Windlord, I'm not trying to give you GPU and mining advice. As long as you've got your GPU sort of below 65 degrees, so make sure the fans are on. Use Afterburner, Microsoft MSI Afterburner to make sure the temperature stays below 65. You've got almost zero chance of burning out your GPU. Yeah, just make sure it's running at a low temperature. You'll be fine. I'd underclock its power. Underclock its power, like 73% ish. If you're being held hostage, blink twice. She's got the best job in the world. She gets to work with me. Yeah, we play games. Star Citizen is always compliant, never buggy. Doesn't take us hours and hours and hours to get some footage. I rage quit much more often than Sin does. Like, when I'm trying to get footage, I will rage quit very quickly. But I suppose she's getting paid directly by me to do that, so it's very much more of a job for her than it is for me. For me, it's a hobby that I've been able to make money out of. I've never rage quit. You've never rage quit, Sarge, ever. You must have rage quit. Everyone rage quit. Does anyone not rage quit? Yeah? Like, genuine, have a think. It doesn't necessarily... You rage log on. So, some games, so Apex Legends, especially when I'm in a bad mood. I mean, I'm bipolar and I'm anxious and I get sort of very grumpy and I'm very vocal about my annoyance. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to expel it immediately and then move on. But I'm very sort of like, if I'm in a bad mood and I'm playing Apex Legends, I'll constantly accuse everyone of cheating or being grumpy or whatever, teaming. I rage hard. I don't think I'm toxic, but I do rage. Probably not a joy to play with all the time. But most of the time I'm a joy to play with. Look at me. I'm a beauty. You smashed a monitor once. Oh, man. Mocha burger. Monstrous. You've messaged me raging. Yeah, you're allowed to rage. You're allowed to talk. You're allowed to vent. Do it all the time. I think it's great. Have a bit of a bitch sesh. Any idea when Squadron 42 comes out? Not before 2022. Expect it by the end of 2022. Roughly, maybe. I've been expecting it since 2016 though, mate, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. Cloud Imperium have said it's done when it's done, no compromise. And that means they'll take as long as they want to make sure it's perfect. However, it will be out long before Squadron 42, long before the Persistent Universe goes to like beta or anything like that. It's the expectation. I've got an itchy nose. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to scratch my nose. I miss old toxic gaming. People are too safe now. So old trolling and old like shitposting and gaming back in the day was a bit different, okay? When you were interacting with people and stuff, and it was much more expected to tell people that you were going to have sex with their mothers or whatever, and it's sort of like the community was a bit different. It was much less fragile than it is now, much more robust in people talking to each other, sort of like not caring. I do think we have become a slightly more fragile society, unfortunately. Oh, you're looking good! You're starting to be all lean and fit. Well, you don't feel lean and fit yet, but I am certainly losing weight. I'm doing a bit better for it, I think. Yeah, I've been on keto, been losing some weight. Best ship names I've seen. I don't really know. Zin, have you seen any good ship names? You have to get pretty close to see them, don't you? That's what you're into, doesn't it? When do you think we'll be able to see more functionality from the Carrack droppable storage pods on their doors? So we're getting in 3.14. We should be getting the Retaliators modularity, and then that should lead on to lots more ships getting modularity, like the Caterpillar, like the Carrack, for all of this sort of functionality. So probably sometime later this year. How are the shields? Still broken. So currently, the sign distance field shields, if you're moving at anything around SCM speed or greater, will lag behind your ship, basically meaning your ship doesn't have shields. They just need a fix. They're broken at the moment. It's probably the main blocker for wider PTU. Quebec, the streamer Quebec recently donated some money to my stream and said that he watches my stuff for Star Citizen, which I was like honoured about. If anyone's watched Quebec, I absolutely love his streams. With docking medical this year in ship landing and spawning coming, and the MISC ship style being one of the oldest, I think there's any chance of an Endeavour hope soon? No. I think the Endeavour, very much so, is going to be much further out. It is science gameplay. It is a big, complex ship. I expect the Orion and the Endeavour to be very far out. So like 2023 sort of thing. Would you be able to drop some info on the C2 and M2 interior? What sort of things do you want? They can store 2 tonks. C2 can store 2 tonks and have room for cargo. I think the M2 does not have the additional cargo area because it's supposed to have more armor and be a bit heavier. They'll be coming out in a 3.13.x patch, so sometime between now and end of June. I'd expect to see them in May, though. I found those £10 if you want them back. Yeah, give me £10, mate. Send me £10. Am I crazy, or were the Shield Tech replacement pushback a patch? So, it's coming in 2 phases now. So you get some of it in this patch, in 3.13, and then some of it in 3.14. What's your opinion on the lack of gameplay loops? I know more are coming. # soon. Yeah, so I want more gameplay loops, obviously. Like, there's... If they had lots of different variety in the missions, that would be able to sort of, like, overlook some of the lack of gameplay loops. But we've been waiting for so much for Star Citizen for so long now, for, like, salvage and repair and that sort of gameplay and medical, and they are coming. They are coming, especially now. They are starting to roll them out much more genuinely, and actually a lot of this stuff's coming out this year in this first iteration. But I'd like to see more variety in the current missions, and I'd like to see everything have true accessibility, so there's not like problems with cargo hauling, there's not like problems with bounty hunting, not be able to do it, and things like that. So they need to get stuff working that's in the game. And then there's a reasonable amount of gameplay. I mean, it's especially with the reputation system actually tying it all together now. Much more reasons to play, and then there is a bit of persistence there as well, so you're not losing all your stuff from patch to patch. Will there be survival gameplay in Star Citizen like farming and crafting? So there's survival in the form of you need to eat and drink, there's heat and management and that sort of stuff. Farming, yes, we know there's going to be farming to some degree. Crafting, yes, but we don't know to what degree at all. So this could be just crafting like medical supplies or drugs or something on your Endeavour, but we might be able to and bases and things, because they've got a Pioneer, which is a mobile factory. But we might be able to craft fuel. Well, we sort of will be able to craft fuel. We'll sort of refine it. But we might be able to have bases, and we might be able to have ships that do other functions as well, and craft munitions, maybe components, maybe ships. We don't know yet. We know there is some form of crafting in Star Citizen, but to what extent, we don't know. And we know there's obviously nodes that exist for the Dynamic Universe Sim, so materials, a new asteroid field's found, and it's got a load of titanium, whatever. Titanium will be picked up by players and taken to places and then sold. That will be consumed by those nodes. They will consume them and make them into other components, maybe refined titanium, which then moves somewhere else and then gets made into a component, which is then literally goes into the inventory of a shop, or goes into as part of a ship. Yeah? So this sort of Dynamic Universe Sim makes use of that. And NPCs can go out and get the materials as well, and to then move it around. So. Does CIG take feedback from the likes of you and Morph, both of whom have said ROC DS design is stupid and pointless, and it's dumb, and the exterior seat is exposed? Well, I mean, yes, they take it from us and from you. Like, there's a load of people that have talked about it. I suspect I know a lot of CIG people watch my streams, so they'll take it from everyone. We might have me and Morph might have like a big platform, to be able to, when we mention something, it might get picked up more. But there's a load of threads and stuff and feedback that everyone gets involved with, including myself on one of my alt accounts. But yes, so ROC DS. ROC DS has been changed in the latest PT patch. It's now got 3.5 SEO cargo space, up from 2. It's got a proprietary special laser on it now, which is longer range and better for mining those gem nodes. But it's still a 2-seater, still requires someone to go into the second seat to use the mining laser, and I still think, even with those changes, it's still not ideal. Like, we don't know the full story behind the DS yet, though. So there might be a load more going on with it. It has not gone on sale. Cloud Imperium have not talked about it too much. So bear that in mind. But they have started to try and address some of the issues with it. Could it be really useful in some situations? Maybe. I can't see them. The thing is that the ROC, the driver, is enclosed and has the ability to use the mining laser. In the ROC DS, the driver is enclosed, does not have the ability to use the mining laser, and the person that is using the mining laser is not enclosed, so will suffocate over time. Oh, sorry, let me turn down the music. Apologies. So a lot of my settings are not set up for this. I have lost a reasonable amount more weight, yes. I'm trying to lose more. I want to lose another. Someone's done something. Thank you very much for your $10. It's beautiful. Melkor Borger. Here's a few bucks towards your editing PC. Thanks for your great YouTube content. So that editing PC is Zin's PC. She is the editor. So she will be getting some new RAM because she was. That's how she speaks this morning when I was annoyed. That's how I heard it. Yeah, it's enclosed for the pilot only, the ROC DS. Thank you so much, though, Melkor Borger. Thanks. Why can't everyone just have simple names? Donate, have a simple name, okay? Perfect, done. Will there be terraforming? In lore, yes. Maybe as part of missions and events, maybe. Will you be able to build bases on planets that are inhospitable? Yes. And it might have different types of sort of enclosed modules and stuff like that in them. You'll be able to terraform a whole planet? I don't think so. Madness. If you were pirated, would you pay your pirate or would you self-destruct and run around? probably pay my pirate. It depends on the situation. Yeah. I'm not just going to self-destruct because Death of a Spaceman is going to incentivize you not to do that. And also, I don't want to go. Well, I don't want to go into the areas of madness. They go, we don't. You into pirates? I'm going to ram you. What? Madness. Yes, so I pay my pirate, and potentially either to hit out on them so it doesn't happen again, or make sure that I've got all my bases covered with different pirate agencies. Yeah, Star Citizen does indeed have a lot of memory leaks, or at least it has. Can I use dual Logitech 3 Extreme Pros in this game? Yes, I've done a video on it ages ago. Do you know if there are any plans to manage your components or inventories offline? Oh. There's a lot of tie-in using different platforms to interact with Star Citizen, but I don't know. Very tech, I don't know. When will they release the Hollow Skull helmet? So they had issues with the Hollow shader, so it wasn't great when they looked at it and they went, right, we need to do some work on this. So at some point they're still going to release that helmet. It's just they need to do some more work on that Hollow shader. My 3080 runs kind of good, but I do end up with low FPS instantly. Any tips? So you can set your max frame rate in Star Citizen. In the NVIDIA control panel to 60 or whatever, and that should help. Turn off a low latency mode. Star Citizen doesn't seem to like it on NVIDIA cards, at least from my experience. You can run your own use.cfg, you can tweak some settings there. Will the 2-seat ROC get a weapon add on its mining arm so it can drive and then switch to a turret? I mean, no, I don't believe that's the plan. How am I doing? I'm doing alright, I think. Thank you very much for asking. When do you expect the next big dynamic event like Xenothreat? So we've got the Fleet Week at the end of May, and Fleet Week was genuinely fantastic last year with the UE Navy and being able to actually fight the Javelin and the Idris and the fleet there. Cool. And they were flying around doing pretty stuff. So this year should be better. Could the Nine Tails lockdown happen at the same time? It could, but I'd expect it to be a separate event. Probably, well, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, now in June we could have end of June we could have a Nine Tails lockdown. We'll sort of have to see what happens. It's hard to tell, isn't it? But the Nine Tails lockdown is probably the next big Xenothreat type event. And we know that, well, we don't know truly anything about the Nine Tails lockdown. There's lots of leaks and stuff on it suggesting there might be a roaming fleet knocking down stations and planets. You have to deal with the fleets there and things like that. Lots of combat. Do you think the 400i will bring the first watercraft to the game? No. I think that lots of ships are going to have buoyancy and be able to float around. Do you think the 400i is going to be a thing, though? Do you think the clouds that they're bringing to Crusader will be implemented for other planets? So, weather clouds and nebula clouds and gas giant cloud tech, although it is similar in some way, is different at the same time. So it's sort of different tech. Other gas giants will use Crusader, yes. Will weather and other planets benefit from Crusader? Probably. What is your favourite upcoming gameplay mechanic? Salvage, repair, refuel, bounty hunting, exploration. I'm most looking forward to the exploration stuff because they talked about the map recently. So about overhaul for the map. They talked about locational data, scanning points of interest down, travelling to them, potentially sharing them. Loads of map-based stuff. And I was like, yes! This is exploration! This is so needed! So that's what I'm most excited about, I think. And then probably salvage. Looking at progress. Oh, you sent me money. Plastic Death. Happy Friday at last. Looking trim, pal. Can I please trouble you for a quick summary of science gameplay loops? I'm struggling to find sources for a decent list. And yes, I know we're a few years off of any. So there's a few things. So science touches on lots of different things, including exploration and medical gameplay. Okay, so for example, the Endeavour, huge focus on science gameplay, and you'll be able to crunch data that you've recovered from scanning things or doing missions into sellable sort of either mission sort of data for other things or literally sellable data in some form. So you make money from that. You'll be able to craft some forms of drugs and that sort of stuff for sale. So there's lots of different modules on the Endeavour. So there's like a research, computery, data crunching module. There's a more science, a lab type module for scanning the plants you bring back, but also potentially crafting them into drugs. There's an overclocking module. So this is different from overclocking your weapons on your ships by clicking a button. This is permanently sort of tweaking and upgrading a component, but there's dangers and it could cause damage to it. There's a long-range sort of detection of anomalies, and then going and scanning and finding information out about those anomalies. But you also have like science missions, which will be gather these things, scan these things, get data on this animal. So lots of missions which can be construed as science. So like collection stuff, exploration stuff. But science touches a huge amount of gameplay. Farming, is that science? Well, it's part of the Endeavour. No, it's probably not science, but it might be connected to some of the science gameplay loops. You see what I mean? So science is huge. Science covers so many different things in so many different ways. Will the two-seat ROC... And that's what we talked about that. What does window gets more than full screen on FPS at the moment? I will test that out. How's the UPC? It seems to be running. It seems to be running optimally at the moment. Still running on the GPU. I need to tweak a load of bits on it. I need to get all the cables in order because the cables are madness at the moment. It's grumpy at the moment. It's a grumpy PC. Away from the ROC DS and 3.13, actually, how about the Nix roadmap delivery date? We don't know when Nix is coming. We know that they've been working on Nix. We know that they're working on hospitals or they've sort of got the Nix hospital listed on the roadmap. But yeah, and they're working on loads of hospitals for New Babbitt or the Stanton system. All over the Stanton system, all the major planets getting a hospital at some point. Wuxtree. I can't say your name. It's impossible. Thank you very much. Do your thing. I'm not sure what my thing is, but I appreciate the dono. Did I refer to that as a dono? I'm so sorry. I'm a monster. What difference does the integration of Vulkan make? So it's not just the integration of Vulkan, it's the Gen 12 render in general. So got Star Citizen runs on DirectX 11 at the moment. Not ideal. So there's options like DirectX 12 or its own special graphics API something, or Vulkan. So they're sort of going with Vulkan, and that means hardware neutrality. So they don't. So optimizations they make for their render and stuff should work great on both AMD and Nvidia and Intel GPUs when they are released, and any other GPUs from the new manufacturers making some GPUs as well. So you should see graphics options in the game. You should see a lot better scalability for your hardware. And you should see better utilization of resources. So more CPU cores will be being used. Better offloading to a GPU of some stuff. And you should see a much better scalable game. Much better performance. That's the sort of stuff that we're expecting. Elfwin! Horai has been given... what? Thanks for giving Orion a sub, you star. Elfwin, thank you. Been loads of subs out on the channel before, you monster. Do we know when we'll be able to take off backpacks? They are working on backpacks as separate items at the moment. It is on the roadmap, on the progress tracker. We don't know when it's going to be in game though. Or would you theorise the perks for reputation levels they'll be given in the future? Obviously, more money, but probably access to different types of gear and discounts on that gear. Access to different areas. So, you know, like they've got the Million Mile High Club. Expect to have different areas which you're allowed into this club, or you're allowed into this area, or you're allowed access to this mission giver, or a new set of missions, if you've got a high enough rating. So there's a huge amount they can do. And they could also have, like, special skins and stuff like that, and decals for your ships and things. When will first gameplay loop for Science come out? Don't know. No idea at all. Looking at the progress tracker, there seems to be a large ship plus malleable planet, terrain tech, modular outposts. Do you think we're getting the Pioneer and base building for Citizen Conish? Okay, so they're definitely pushing towards base building faster than I expected, or at least as sort of like, there's definitely a focus on that in some way. They're building out points of interest, more points of interest, and the sort of like those new homesteads, the colonialism outposts. Now, I think the plan is, rather than having base building in the short term, what they want is players to be able to have habs and hangars. So persistent habs and hangars. So probably at set locations to start with. But that looks to me to be what they're trying to focus on in the mid-term. And they sort of said some of this in the, not monthly report, in the roadmap roundup. Let's actually have a look at this. So some of the focuses that the Persistent Universe gameplay team are working on are persistent hangars, work that grants the player to have their own persistent hangar. This will also bring changes to the cargo gameplay loop by allowing players to pack their grids manually, and persistent habs, work that grants players the ability to have their own persistent habs. We know that's a focus for them at the moment. Thank you very much for those donations, though. Very much appreciated. Not sure why I'm doing that. Do a little cat wave. Doesn't move its head, just moves its arm. Like a cat. It's a lucky cat. What else have we got? Sorry if I'm massively behind in questions. My GPU is running pretty low for a game of this size. Is this considered normal or something wrong with my game or system? Star Citizen's not optimized, but I don't have more information about your system. You're not alone, let me tell you that. When do you think the CT Herc will be released in-game? Between now and the end of June, probably in May. End of May, sort of Fleet Week time. Do you remember how much those 3090s were going for when you put your order in? 11 or 1,200 pounds? They're like 2,400 now or something like that. They're doubled in price. Ugh. What's the B-roll? It's from the 2019 CitizenCon. It's the Microtech mission that I hope we get at some point. When does the zombie apocalypse start? It's already started. But the community isn't just more fragile. At some point in the last 20 years, the joke shit and fake toxicity drew real toxic folks in, and the joke was lost. So there's definitely an argument for mainstream gaming making gaming for less fun. But when there was a barrier to entry, and I'm not gatekeeping, I mean, people do what they want. I'm very, I think, do what you want sort of thing. Just try not to be horrible to other people. Joke with them, that's fine. Mess around, that's all good. But I do think that the lost barrier to entry meant that you get a lot of people that just don't care about hobbies so much. You get loads of hobbies that become popular and mainstream. Which is sort of my theory on that. Any news on the 400i? No new news on the 400i. I do think it's going to be a thing, and I do think it will be in game at some point. Probably between now and 3.14's release. With the popularity of the MCR, do you remember Mike Star Runner? MCR? MRS? MSR? Do you think we'll see a Corsair anytime soon? I haven't heard anything about the character. Lots of people ask about it. I haven't heard anything new about sort of the character. I don't think it's in active development at the moment. Sorry, the character? Corsair. Dum. I'm a dum. Character's in game, obviously. The Corsair, don't think it's in active development currently. Do you think they're going to release the C2 with Invictus Fleet Week? Yes. Have you considered asking Zin to be bald? That's a really good idea. I think she'll go for that. I think she should be like, oh, thanks, I'd love to be bald. Am I allowed to put down one sentence of the DS description to prove a point on how dumb the DS is? Yeah, you can do. You don't have to prove how dumb the DS is. We know that the ROC DS, or at least I know, the ROC DS is dumb. You're allowed to disagree with me, that's fine. At the moment, it appears to be dumb. Let me put it that way. Bear with me 1 second. I've lost all of the questions. Can I buy tattoos from jail? If not, please suggest that. I actually suspect you will be able to get tattoos and piercings at some point. Potentially maybe from jail as well. Will they stop being so cringe about the law, please? Stop pressing charges against people in your party. It should be defaulting. The idea is that it defaults to not press charges on your party members. So that's what they want to do, and they need to tweak a load of the law system, though. Obviously, there's lots of bugs with the law. Is the AI in Squadron 42 the same complexity as AI for the PU? No, it is different. So Squadron 42 obviously doesn't need to run on a separate server. Yeah, it can run on your PC. So they don't have desync issues. They don't have server tick rate issues. They can script a lot more of the AI, and they know where you're going to encounter them and when and what. It's a lot more sort of enclosed space, so it's a lot easier, in my opinion, for Squadron 42 AI. Will PU cause delays for Squadron 42 through this? I don't think so. Certain things could, I suppose. Do you think refinery updates and specialities will eventually be on the mode class? Yes. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah. You should be able to see where the refineries are and what they can all do. Have we had any details on the capacitor gameplay? So, capacitor gameplay is going to be make power much more important, and you sort of like, what's all your power doing? Is your extra power going into this? And your sort of gear will have capacitors that can take a certain amount of power and all that sort of stuff. So you'll be making much more important power choices for your ship. Exactly how that will work, I don't know, because they have not gone into full details of it. But I know it's important, and it will change the way dogfighting and combat is done. With refinery decks and cargo decks in game, what other special decks do you want to see? Well, I want to see those decks finished off first and working, especially the cargo decks, obviously. So, capital ship docks is going to be a thing, for sure. And then speciality gameplay for lots of different things. Salvage yards, you'll see stuff like that. You'll potentially see fuel stations separate to other stations. What would you like to see on the two-seater ROC? The ability for it to potentially be a utility platform to use lots of different utility mounts, not just a mining laser, and for it, if it is just a miner, or even if it isn't, the ability to mount a ship mining laser, like the Prospector, so that it can mine the larger rocks. Something like that. That's for the ROC DS. Can we have Mecha? I'd like to fly an RX or a Gundam or a Chin. Okay. So you've got some people that have worked on Mech Warrior and that are pretty high up in CIG that probably want to put mechs in. We are getting Titan suits at some point. They are halfway towards mechs. Any chance of landing UI like Elite Dangerous? They do want a landing UI and underbelly cams and stuff like that. So they have talked about that. They do want to get something like that in game again. They've had it previously as well. Aboard, do you know if they're planning outpost defense gameplay with swarms of NPC mobs? There's definitely going to be defensive outposts, fighting, and missions like that. To what level is it going to be a swarm? Don't know, but they could do it with spawn lockers and reinforcements and things. What case did you go for in the end board? At the moment, I've got a thermal take P3 snow with a tempered glass front, because I think it looks really, really like the a Origin ship component. It should do, once it's finished, look pretty good. Anything new on the roadmap that surprised you? Yeah, so the overhaul for lots of exploration type stuff for the new map and pinging for points of interest, things like that. That is pretty cool for sure. Other than that, not a huge amount was surprising. Obviously, a lot of it we need to just get in game. When do you think we'll see the first Star Citizen TV or streaming service commercial? When they've got Squadron 42 into a state that they want to start a marketing campaign for it. Years ago, it was rumoured that the Tally might get a medical module. It's possible still. It's possible. Apollo in 2021? Not as far as I'm aware, so that's a medical ship. And although they are building towards medical gameplay, I'd expect that much more as a release next year. If you could ask one question to CIG and guarantee a solid answer, what would you ask? What is the release date of Squadron 42? Oh, other than when is the game going to be released? Can you tell me the detailed gameplay loops as you foresee them now? So I would want to know salvage gameplay. What is the deep dive into that as a mechanic? What's the deep dive into science? What's the deep dive into farming? Do you know what I mean? So those gameplay loops. What's the plans for them? Is CIG going to play with itself? Is it going to make a play with itself emote? So the DS driver has something to do while the miner... Wow. I just made it. What are the changes to the ROC DS? So they've given it 3.5 SC of cargo space up from 2. That's the main change. They've given it a new laser, so it's got longer range and is more powerful. But it's still pretty meh. When will the update release? So currently 3.13 is in first wave PTU. I was expecting it to be open PTU, if not live by now, admittedly. So we could see a wider PTU at any time they've got some of the bugs fixed. So I think the shield bug, and at the moment there's all landing pads are currently in use bug. I think if they get those two fixed, they'll probably move it to a wider PTU. So that could be done today. That's more likely Monday now, but... Oh yeah, I couldn't log on to the PTU just before stream, so I suspect they are putting out a new update. Possible. Have you considered building a button box for more immersion? So I've got a Streamlabs Bunny Boy. Streamlabs, whatever it is. You know, one of the... No, Gatto one, whatever it is. A Bunny Boy. I've got a full joystick and a Verpil Constellation Delta throttle, which I will use probably when I'm not recording. Yeah, I'd consider getting a cool little controller button box thing as well in the future. Do you think there could be ships that don't need a jump point to travel between systems? I mean, there could be. Maybe some of the alien ships might be like, well, we'll generate our own jump points. Lol. They haven't talked about anything like that, though. Thinks the answer's no worries. Do you think there could be... literally, I just talked about. Do you think Titan suit is done, but waiting to reveal? So, as far as I was aware, they were doing loads of prototyping and white boxing, and I'd moved potentially onto grey box for the PU a while ago, but I can't confirm that for real. I'm not sure where they are with it. Why is this man talking about CR being a virgin? What does that have to do with the... What does that have to do with the game? He's got 2 kids. What is wrong with you? You're a madman. Please be civil on my channel. Otherwise, you will get a ban hammer. Weird. Or if you're too weird, and I'm weird, and if I find it too weird, then you've gone to the extreme. Okay? Any details of the character modules? No. If Shadow goes away, is there an alternative? Yes, I'm looking at some other streaming services as well, which I will start to promote if Shadow looks like it might be going away. Hopefully, Shadow will have a nice, stable future. The parent company for Shadow, it looks like it's gone into administration or bankruptcy or something. But Shadow, the game streaming platform, and gaming PC streaming service, looks like they want to continue, and hopefully someone will buy them out, or they get the investment they need. Any word on the jump point hardcovers? No. I will ask one of my mates at CIG though if he can push for them, because I want them. With the upcoming Retaliator Gold standard, do you think there's a chance they'll redo the interior work? Yes, I do think they'll give it some tweaks. Redo is a bit extreme. Tweak it, yes. I love you, Citaro. You got message retracted, but I don't know why. I love you. How big ships? What? What does that even mean? Tidoro is a great content creator. Go check out his channel. How will some ships, big ships, be able to change components like Reclaimer Power Plant? So capital ships and large components will need to be changed out in a specialist station that has those facilities in the future. Huge thank you, BoredGamer, for your tutorials and community contribution. I don't often play, but you're always my go-to for all things does it. I appreciate that. There are other content creators as well that do content that is great too, and is worth watching, as well as mine, as an addition to mine, clearly. Oh my god, for real, I'd love some mechs. Yeah, so Titan suits are more Iron Man than mech, but they are a step towards that. And it's possible you'll see mech in the future. Have the frames and performance improved in 3.13? So it should. at some point. There was loads of problems with some CPU updates they made for 3.13 for a lot of people, but they should overall be a lot better. I have not played much of 3.13J yet to tell you. It's good for me, but I've got a very focused system. Is it true that we had a similar landing system like Elite Dangerous? Yes, we had it, and then they got rid of it, but they might be bringing it back. Zin comes on camera sometimes. She appears sometimes. She'll play games sometimes. It's a bit of effort. Like she'll see her on camera sometimes, and we'll see her playing Star Citizen and other games sometimes with me. Where on CIG's website can you find information on the PTU? Mostly on the Spectrum forums. What system do you think will be next after Pyro? The Nix system. They're working on it now. What microphone am I using? A AT2020. Who's the Elon Musk looking guy behind you? It's Chris Roberts. Do you think CIG knows how bad the current PTU is? Yes. They play it. Have you named your ships already? Yes, but I haven't named all of them, and I want to get the same name for a lot of them, so I'm not telling people what it is soon. You'll find out soon. It is a slightly more edgy name. It's not that edgy. Spicy, slightly spicy. Is there anything on the horizon for passive stats, such as distance travelled, kill stats? Oh, I want that, but there's nothing that I'm aware of they're putting in yet. But board merch when? It exists already. Go to my the YouTube channel. Got board merch there. You want more board merch? We can get more board merch. Zin, make some more board merch. Not sure, I'm clicking at you. I'm sorry, don't hit me. What else have we got? Is there an alternative to Shadow for gameplay? Yes, and I've been looking at some, but I don't have all the details yet, so I don't really want to recommend anything. Seems we're so close to Star Citizen turning a corner. Your thoughts on when we can see things really starting to fall in place? It's going to be a while, really, before they all fall in place. Like, there's no silver bullet to Star Citizen. Yes, when server meshing is in, that's huge. With each of the major gameplay loops, we should get more gameplay. Don't expect a sudden patch to change everything. No Jesus patch, no silver bullet, a slow, iterative plod, and then, yeah, stuff will maybe start to fall in place much more, like, beta-wise, and getting a game that looks really pretty good and is much more mainstream. 2024? So you're looking, like, 2-3 years, really, in my opinion. As this update has less to begin with, do you think it should be delayed slightly close to the release of C2 and M2 for Fleet Wing? Nah. What's your favourite ship manufacturer? On paper, Drake. I like no frills, just do what you're supposed to do. I think I love Aegis the most, though. I like Aegis-looking ships. What joystick setups do you have, if any? So, Verpal Constellation Delta is the best I've used by far, and I have them. So. Dual T16000s are great, and they're affordable as well. Can CIG let players make suit in game? I'm not sure what you mean. They have previously had players helping make suits and stuff at Citizen Cons. Any news on the Perseus? No new news on the Perseus. Pegasus is indeed a separate ship. How big can Bible ships go in size? They can make... So at the moment, the largest ship they've ever sold is the Javelin, which is a destroyer, big capital ship. There could be ones they sell in the future that are bigger for real money, but should be able to buy everything eventually in game, including Bengals and things, I suppose, in the future. What is this 3.12J you talk about? 3.13J. 3.13J. It's the latest PTU patch. How's the performance in 3.13? Better than it was in the original 3.13 release, PTU release. But there's still a ways to go. They've put some bug fixes in that was causing low frame rates. Let me grab Zin and ask her, because she's been playing it a lot more than me this morning. Oh, I can't... Zin, can you come into streaming for a second? Hi, Zin.
Hi.
I don't have authority to move you because this is a new computer.
Oh, yeah.
This is why it's like... Zin, so... oh, no, one second. I can actually hear you.
Oh, they probably can't, can they?
They might be able to. Speak.
Hello. And welcome to some more Star Citizen.
Say some more things.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, they
What's
can
going
hear you
on?
through my normal speakers, so...
Okay. Oh, you haven't got your thing set up, have you?
No. It's, yeah, only half the stuff's set up. And just like your computer's in,
Yep.
I'm going to wait for DC before I do my audio. Actually. So, stability and performance in 3.13, the latest PT, what's it been like for you playing it?
It's alright.
Alright, so...
Yeah, well, I haven't really had a chance to properly play it, because today, landing pad bugs.
Sin's not had much luck with being able to landing or take off at landing zones.
Yeah, so the first server I jumped on couldn't spawn a ship, so I changed server, got him a ship, went to Everest Harbour, couldn't land my ship.
Yeah.
So
all the pads are full. No, they're not. I can see them.
EVA'd into Everest Harbour, recalled my ship, tried to spawn another ship, pads are full.
Yeah, it's that's obviously a major bug that
Yesterday,
they need to solve.
I was having problems with frame rates.
But we did...
Though the couple of things you did make it better, but it's still not.
Yeah, so we went into the NVIDIA control panel, set maximum frame rate to 60, turned off low latency mode. That seems to help, because that means it tries not to max out your CPU. And there's a load of CPU improvements that they're trying, which have caused some bugs. And so hopefully once 3.13 goes live, that should actually just be a lot better performance. So at the moment, not ideal. What's about stability? Have you crashed much?
No, like I said, the only time I crashed was me crashing. I've not had any 30Ks or anything like that at all. And I did quite a bit of recording on Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah. So yeah, seems good that side. It's great, but there are other bugs that are making it difficult to play.
Thank you very much, Christopher Grump, for your RON. I'm not sure what a RON is, but you've given me 25 of them. I'm a member for a year now. Time flies by really fast. Still love your videos. Cheers. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'll take your RON. Sin, what's a RON?
I don't know. Also, my Heartseeker Hornet wasn't jumping around on the pad today.
Yeah, he was a happy little boy yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, I believe there was a patch fix for that, so that did work.
Yeah. Thanks, Sin. Thanks for your 3.13 update.
That's okay. The only thing I was going to add is that bear in mind that my CPU is 6 years old. I'm running
not your new one that you've got.
Not my new one, but I haven't got that. I haven't got it installed yet. But yeah, I'm running an i7 6700K. 6700K?
So I got Zen a new...
6900K?
Gave Zen my old CPU, my 3950X. Actually, I bought her a new motherboard.
Yeah, because it won't go in my one.
Which is the same motherboard as I've got, and the same motherboard that your DC's got, your partner.
My partner, DC.
And at the moment, the current donation goal is for RAM for you. Because I know you'll whine and bitch
Well, like
about
I said, I can use what I've got currently, but it's 3200. It's
It's not really, but it's more about the latency. Well, it's actually about both, but the
Yeah.
latencies to be the time.
I think the latency's okay-ish on mine, but it's
want at least 3200, really 3600 at 14. In CAS. So. What?
Do
What are you
I
laughing
hold
at?
back from hurting Board's feelings talking about Star Citizen? No,
she does
no,
not.
no.
Me and Zin have a good relationship in the fact that we do not hold stuff back from each other at all. Even if it's offensive, we'd rather offend the person and then say, I'm sort of sorry that I offended you.
Yeah, it's more of a, I'd rather you tell me, you know? Like, I like to know.
I will.
So, I may disagree with you.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And no, I don't rage quit from getting B-roll because that's literally my job and I get paid for it. I get fired.
I can tell that you want to rage quit sometimes, though, which is why I will say, let's do something else. It's hell for me as well sometimes. Like, I just want to get, I just want to get some footage of us messing around on trolleys. No trolleys are now spawning anywhere.
Yeah.
Thanks, game. Things like that. So, yeah, both all of the sort of friends group that we're in at the moment, they are, for the most part, are pretty good at saying their feelings and their annoyances. Yeah.
Sometimes we have to prefix it with, look, don't take this the wrong way.
Do we?
Sometimes.
UDC,
it depends who we're talking to.
Yeah, okay, fair point. There are outliers that would get offended because sometimes it is quite cutting, what you might say. We've got a good group. And they're not all echo chambery as well. Very different opinions on many different things. I will not say who falls into who. Condolences on the death of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Indeed, don't have to condolence me. I'm like devastated by it. I know that in a few days people are going to go, ooh, he's a monster or something. He was a good chap that had a good life and was one of the monarchs of our country. So one of the, royals of our country. And it is a shame that he has passed away. But I'm glad that he passed away at home and in peace. And the Queen is triple R'd. She's a strong woman. So
she's going to be going for years and years. She is. Possibly.
Going longer than Thingamajig.
Yeah, Thingamajig.
Come on. I can't remember royals' names. What's her son's name?
Prince Philip.
No, that would be wrong.
Charles.
I forgot. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the monarchy in my country. For Zin Hardware, thank you very much, Wayne Toprock.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, Star. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I am going to be using my RAM in the interim, but that is my RAM. Well, actually, it's DC's RAM because he bought it for me.
Wait, one second. No one cares about your girlfriend. This is not my girlfriend. This is my employee.
Yeah, I'm not his girlfriend.
He goes slow intentionally in game because he's a scammer just milking your money pretending to do shit. This is B-roll footage.
Yeah, Monkey's not playing.
Look, no hands.
You can go to YouTube and watch this video if you want.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking on the YouTubes. And I'm certainly not a scammer. You'll get... I'll tell you exactly what I'm taking from you. If you want to donate to me, I'll happily accept your money. Star Citizen's a slow project. Hey, bro, you need to chill. Why are you so grumpy? Why is he so grumpy? He is a scammer. Why are you so grumpy, dude? You need to chill.
Windlord, he didn't actually hit 100. He was 99. Prince Philip.
He's 99. Yeah, basically 100.
Yeah, but he didn't get a card from the Queen, did he?
Oh my!
Saying congratulations on your 100th birthday.
Indeed, did not. He's doing absolutely nothing in game. I am not currently playing Star Citizen. I'm talking about Star Citizen and talking about updates to Star Citizen and answering people's questions on Star Citizen. That's what I'm doing here. You are an idiot. Sorry, I don't mind people coming into the chat and having a negative opinion on Star Citizen or even me or whatever. But when you're actively just being idiotic and trying to be disruptive, then I will ban you. I've banned very few people, even people that would be seen as Star Citizen haters and disruptors. Just the guy earlier that was talking about CRB and his personal life randomly, even though he has 2 children saying he was a virgin. That was weird. I was just like, what are you talking about? Just get out. But yeah, people can have their own opinions. I welcome it. I welcome conversation. Don't be an idiot. Actually, that's not true. You can be an idiot if you want. Be civil. There you go. How dare you, sir? Do exactly what I expect you to do. Do you not know what B-roll is? Did Zen ever get a chair? Tell me of your chair, Zen.
Oh, my chair's brilliant.
So she got a steel case Leap version 2 in the end.
Yes. It's lovely and comfortable, and my back and butt thanks everybody who helped make this possible.
Yeah, so it was quite an expensive chair, but they're sort of important. For me and Sin are sedentary. We sit in our chairs and we play games or edit or whatever all day. You're thinking of potentially getting back into roller derby, aren't you? That's me doing roller derby.
Thinking about it.
I need to go for runs more. But since keto, I've been running less. I've had less energy to start with. I've only just started getting energy back.
Yeah, and I haven't done roller derby for several years.
You've been pretty good at it. You kept on having good stories about it.
I was pretty good for the amateur league that I was in, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to take it too seriously and devote your whole life to it, because at some point you'll have to stop doing it. With those sort of sports, if you get too obsessed by them, you're like, it becomes your life, and then when you can't do your hobby anymore or you get injured, you're like, oh god. What else have we got here? Any other questions?
Something else I just wanted to quickly add. If anybody in your stream has a problem with something somebody's saying, and we don't feel that it's bad enough to ban them,
or the mods don't.
Yeah, you can just mute them yourself, so you don't have to listen to their bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, some you'll find that some people are actively trying to engage in annoying you or trolling you or whatever. I am pretty chill about people having their say and engaging in conversation. Obviously, sometimes that pushes into the boundaries of bullying or trolling or whatever, but even then, I'm still pretty chill about it until it becomes uncivil, in which case I will potentially warn or ban someone. But disengage from people that are actively, being douches or whatever.
If it bothers you, then just ignore them.
I would say that my Discord and my YouTube are not necessarily safe places or safe spaces or whatever for people. They are. I want people to be able to have a conversation. I want to be able to talk about stuff. I don't want to be stuck in an echo chamber where if Star Citizen becomes soured, or if there's something I don't like, I don't say it, or other people are like, oh no, it's great, when it's not. Like, there are problems with Star Citizen. There are problems with some of this game. There's stuff that I'm going to do wrong in the future. There's content that I'm going to do that's going to be bad or lackluster, and you're allowed to talk about that, and you're allowed to say that, and you're allowed to, have your opinion on that. It's all good. Love you, Zin. Why is Zin getting love and money? What? This is me.
Because I say it how it is.
Oh, mate. Oh, I hate that phrase, but it's... Oh. I hate that phrase when used for someone to emphasise their point, when it's just their opinion on something. Because I say it how it is.
It is my opinion, but I do not sugarcoat my opinions.
You do not. And that's good, because I'm on keto. I can't have sugar. When's the next round of ship naming? I would expect 3.14. How much of a roadmap do you actually think they'll release this year? So I would expect them to release 70% of the release of the features on the release view, because that's basically what they've said. It's probably more than that, because they'll just get delayed and pushed back into other patches. But yes, Benjamin, I don't know what's happened to your parcel. I've contacted the because you've sent it to my office, which is not my actual mailing. Well, so it's my London office, which is there to protect my actual real life address, basically. But they said if they had received it, because of the size of it, they would have returned it back to sender. So I will track it down as best I can. If it does not return to you, we'll work something out. I just want it. I don't know what it is, but I want it. Do you call people that kill bugs in game exterminators? No. But maybe you should? Do we know how deep we'll be able to fly into the Crusader gas giant? No, we don't. We do know that they're working on the whales for it, though. I thought it was just the whale statue originally, but it looks like they're actually working on the whales for it.
Also, they need to sell the mascot.
But
the mascot uniform, they need to sell that shit.
That mascot uniform is getting worked on.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it'll just be for NPCs wandering around.
Oh no, you'll be able to buy it in game, surely.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a whale with its tongue sticking out, like?
I don't know.
Dumb whale.
I think it's going to be super cute.
It's going to be derpy. I want it to be derpy rather than necessarily cute.
Derpy is cute. You've played
always.
Journey to the Savage Planet.
Am I cute, Zin?
Okay, no. Point.
Am I derpy?
Yes.
Point proven. Do you think they will do a virtual or hybrid CitizenCon this year? So I think it's looking more likely to be a virtual CitizenCon now. The 7th of August CitizenCon event thing disappeared from the LA Convention Center. We don't have any form of announcement from Cloud Imperium yet, though. Hey, board off the recent update on the PTU. I've not had the chance to check out. I tried to jump into the game from the main menu. I freeze. Have you heard anything? I've not seen that. I've not heard that. That sounds like a reinstall test thing to just reinstall it to start with. What ships do you think we'll see for 3.16? Don't know yet. Some new ones for sure. Any words or news about bombs or bombing from aircraft? Quick spoiler. So people that don't want to know this leak or spoiler. So Star Citizen leaks have said that there has been a leak for an Achilles Star Bomber, I think from Crusader. I have not heard that. I have not heard anything from Cloud Imperium, not even teasers, not even whoosh, nothing from typical sources I would get stuff from. It is still very possibly a ship they are working on. So I'm just saying I've not heard anything about it beyond what Star Citizen leaks have talked about. And I'll probably do a video looking at what they talked about at some point. Oh, I appreciate the quite a large amount of Ron. Thank you. Some Ron. I don't have to say. It's all good. I appreciate it all. In CIG, let players make textures for the undersuit or okay. So you should be able to have, or at least choose different colours of undersuit in the future more readily. I'm expecting them to just let you paint them. That would be my expectation. I just see one of the messages that guy that Vance said. I've seen him do this exact same path before. Yes, it's because it's a video. Oh man, that's funny. Can CIG we talked about that. Vandal ship rework. Vandal ship rework are assuming to be released with Squadron 42. I'm hoping so I'm expecting the Vandal ship updates to actually be released probably towards the end of this year. So they're updating we know Firesprite are working on updating the Arena Commander maps, and I suspect that will come with a Vandal Swarm update, and that will have the ship updates in there. That's my expectation. What did you two have for lunch? I haven't. What did I have for lunch 2 days ago? I'm not hiccuping. You don't need to ask me that question. But I am now going to yawn. What?
Hiccuping?
So, the way hiccuping works is if your brain can be engaged with something else for long enough, potentially that can cure your hiccups. And if you ask a question like that, you have to go, and sort of move on to a different sort of thought.
Okay. That's just a bit of a random thing for me.
Well, obviously you hadn't heard that as a way of curing hiccups before, but I had.
Nope.
What joysticks are you rocking? I've got a Verbal Constellation Delta, but I don't really use it. Mouse and keyboard is easier to use, especially when recording. Zin, are you interested in a mouse, a HOTAS at all?
One.
I think you've got my Constellation Delta actually at the moment.
We've got something. DC had it out at some point, and he was like, "Oh, you should set it up," and I was like,
You should certainly play with it.
Yeah, I should at some point.
Been some rumours of iCache being worked with some kind of implementation in 3.13. So, lots of features have iCache in mind and have iCache optimizations now. But the sort of true iCache stream persistence and server meshing is part of a larger task. So you will notice some updates and some improvements, even in the short term and mid term. You should see iCache and server meshing implemented fully. What ship should a new player buy to get the best experience out of Star Citizen? A penguin. What is a penguin, Sin?
You've never called it that before. Nobody's ever called it that before until Cameron mentioned it the other day.
What is a penguin, Sin?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Yeah, but it's that ship you always tell people to buy.
It's an Avenger. So typically the penguin...
Avenger Titan.
Basically, the penguin was originally the Avenger Stalker. But then we got more versions of the penguin. So really it's an Avenger Titan. Penguin is a known term. It's an Avenger.
Yeah,
see?
I've never
Get
heard
wrecked,
of it
in.
before.
Get wrecked.
I've never heard of it
Get
before.
schooled. Now you know. Evwin, thank you very much for giving a sub to Rulosing.
I think
You're losing my mind. They're not taking the piss in. They're not.
No,
fixing
I think they're going for people with really weird names, so you have to say it.
I don't. How do you say that one?
Losing my mind.
Oh, okay. Fuck you.
Or losing my mind.
I can't say names. Will Theatres of War replace Star Marine? No, it should be an addition to Star Marine as part of Electronic Access. Although they could roll it all into one thing, it would still have the Star Marine modes. 2 days ago, I had a ribeye steak for lunch as well. I do remember what I had. Yesterday, I had a sirloin steak for lunch. And these are 400-gram mega steaks.
Can I just quickly intersect here? Like, if you're going to have it to be "Are you losing my mind?", then you need to capitalize the R and the U.
You made all your letters and your name small, Zin.
Yeah, but my name is Zinnia, not Z-Inia.
Okay, fair point. Will small items in ships always come as it is now, or can we clean it up? I'm confused, Rockstar, about what that means. Small items in ships always come as it is now. Oh, okay, yeah, so the items around ships you will be able to clean up and move. Yes. Will the shipping and physics grid be fixed for next patch? Hopefully, we'll have it in 3.13. It looks like they're one of the things they are focusing on for fixing. So what are the changes they're making to the ArcStar map? We know that they're overhauling it. I think they're going to be standardizing it so it goes into Star Citizen externally and internally, so you'll better use it in game, but also connect to it from the website as well and do stuff. Or plan stuff. Keto, did you check out the alcohol list the other day? I did. Very helpful. So it goes through some of the stuff that you can drink, some of the lighter carb beers, because you can have like a shot of tequila, sambuca, tequila. I think.
Don't think it would be sambuca because sambuca
sugary.
is a sugary liqueur.
So it was, I think it was tequila and things like that. And you can get away with having like a beer and a cider. It just obviously they're quite heavy, and the lighter beers and ciders you can actually have quite a few. Also, it's just going to help me drink less when I actually do drink again because I'm a bit of a monster. So. Are you aware of any plans to expand on docking cameras to include landing cameras and lasers? So they want some form of belly camera and some form of, I think they wanted low resolution sort of help on your MFD for landing, but we'll have to see exactly what they go for. Are they going to go add wiping and flushing for toilets? I believe flushing will be a thing. Probably automated though, the flush. What mouse am I using? I'm using a Logitech G502. You're using the same, I assume, Zin?
Yes, I'm using the same, and so is Kit, and so is Noodle.
What's DC using?
302, I believe.
Oh, because he's too old school.
He likes the smaller mices, so he didn't get on with the 502, but that suited me fine because I got another 502 as a spare.
The Logitech 502 is probably the best mouse I've ever used.
I think it's the best mouse I've ever used.
Mm-hmm. And BoredGamer, sponsored by Logitech G502. No, it's not sponsored.
I don't think the newer ones are as good. Like, I've got the older model 502.
When will we have a board at Bar Citizen? So I want to do a big Bar Citizens as soon as we're out of lockdown. So I wanted to. I love BritainCon stuff. I love doing that. But what I want to do is much more lower effort. I want a event where we load of Star Citizens get together, just be in a pub for the day. Maybe have a few devs talk about some stuff while we're at a pub and getting drunk. And maybe have a pub quiz. And maybe even do a 2-day bar event, but probably focus on just a 1-day event to start with. But I'll certainly actively go out to Bar Citizens and organise some as well. Or visit some in the UK. You said you believe the Vandal ships are going to be released at the end of this year without them being listed on the roadmap. That would be. I've got an expectation that they're going to be updating Star Marine and Arena Commander and getting some Theatres of War stuff in order, and that I would expect to see around the same time that they update Arena Commander for the new maps or the updated maps for Vandal Swarm, that the Vandal ships will get an update as well. That would be my expectation. That is not a confirmation. They're going to be adding maps to Star Marine, as far as I'm aware, yeah? It's possible that they'll roll Star Marine into Theatres of War, but there will still be Star Marine-esque more focused modes. Have you worked with Zin in the past? Only with Star Citizen stuff. Like, we've known each other for about 7 years, played a lot of games together. And at my worst, Zin still hasn't abandoned me as a friend, so that's how you know they're keepers as friends. And now I employ her so she can't get away. Have you visited any of the CIG studios? Yes. I visited multiple times the Wimslow, the biggest studio, the Manchester studio in the UK. let you know a reasonable time beforehand for a board event, and I'll swim over the channel. What I'll do, Rockstar, is for you and some other people that want it, I'll have you there virtually. I'll have you like on Skype and move you around on a camera. It'll be perfect.
Like that time, was it you? When we were at Kit Fest?
Yes, it was.
And we had you on a tablet sitting next to the table so you could see what was going on.
I was there virtually.
Yeah.
Can you get us some mecha concept art? Can't wait. I will give them some more pokes about the Titan suit stuff. It's a shame that Sarah McCullough left, because she would have probably been one of the best concept artists for. I am going to buy so many spaceships.
Enjoy your videos, have some stimulus money. Sorry, it's not more saving for an Origin 404.
Tazarius, thank you very much for your stimulus money. Appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, you star. I appreciate that. Yeah, no point in saving for the Origin 404. Hey, we've all got them in our hangars, if you didn't notice.
Yeah, I think that's why my
ship was going mad.
Yeah, because it was just clipping into the 404.
So that's the sort of concept for the Titan suits that we've seen. It looks fantastic. See, they're pretty big. Sort of like 11 foot tall-ish. Pretty big boys. Have you ever had success with concierge requesting CCU to a ship that is not available for purchase? I know people have had, yes. Not for a CCU to actually buy a ship. Did Sarah leave because no one could understand her Geordie accent? Oh, I love Sarah. She's fantastic. I think she got a really great job offer for doing perfectly the sort of art that she wanted to do. And I wish her all the best. I talk to her occasionally on Facebook. She seems to be doing pretty well. Thoughts on the Crusader Ares? I love the Ares Ion. Zin loves the Ares Inferno. And brrr.
Yeah.
Pew pew. How likely are we going to see the Vulture this year? I think it's a possibility by the end of the year. Possible. What does Invictus Week entail? So there'll be a free fly. There is a big sort of focus on military ships. And that's the idea. It's supposed to be like recruitment week for the UE Navy. So you'll have I believe it's at Microtech this year, going to have a display hall, and that will have loads of ships on display that you can rent, so you can use. You should be able to buy a load of them from the website as well. So big ship sale, a big ship rental, free fly, and there may be some event stuff going on as well beyond that. Further contributions to Mecha Citizen. Thanks. Sketch Therapy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That mech money will be going directly into Zin's RAM.
Thank you.
What ship would you recommend and why the F7C or Gladius? It depends on literally what you want to do. If you want to do combat, then the Gladius or the Hornet's pretty good. And there's Arrow, although they did nerf it. I don't know about the meta in 3.13 yet. I need cleverer people than me to look at it. I need to poke a noodle at some point. What is Chris Roberts plotting behind my back? Nothing. He's just making sure that no NDAs are broken.
No, he's coming up for more stuff for Star Citizen to lengthen out the development process.
What is Zinya's origin story? How did you guys meet? What is the most wildest thing you've done together, etc.? So when a mummy Zin and a daddy Zin loved each other very much, they made Zin. We met around 7 years ago through one of the other mates, Kit. He may have heard on the channel. Zin and Kit were best friends, and they are.
We are best friends, not were.
They were and are best friends, and they played lots of games together. Left 4 Dead 2 is how Zin and her partner DC met.
Oh, beautiful.
Zin's RAM donations, thank you very much, bro. And the Dutsky, thank you for the bits, thank you for the money, the RAM, the bits, thanks. And we met through Kit, who then sort of like invited me to also join on the voice channel. And then we played some games together, such as Rust, such as Evolve, such as other games. And we sort of realised that our humour gelled and that we were bearable as people near each other. Like, it was good. Good friends that you actually like and want to talk to. And because everyone was sort of like similarly inclined to play computer games as one of their major, if not their major hobby, it was good. So like, I don't want people to constantly want to leave the house. Like, I want to meet up sometimes, yes, and I want to do things together sometimes, but I want the majority of what I do to be in this chair. Whoever does become my girlfriend in the future is going to be a lucky lady.
Yeah.
What's the wildest thing we've ever done?
We haven't done anything that wild.
Oh, I know the wildest thing we've ever done. You know that time I was drunk at iSeries demanding that they move our chairs?
Oh, God.
I was pretty wild then, and you had to calm me down. And then later in the evening, you had to drink the trash wine because no other wine was left.
No, I think those were two different events, weren't they?
Oh, they all blended together to one event to me.
Those were two different events. So one event, some people had come last minute and basically gone, we want to come, we'll buy some tickets. And they're like, okay, well, these seats are free. When actually they weren't free. And so when we came to sit down on our desks, some of our chairs were already taken. And Monkey was already drunk. And basically just started arguing with them. And then a guy from Insomnia came along, like one of the crew came along and was like, what's going on? And we're like, this is the thing. And Monkey just started having a go at him. And I'm like, look, mate, Monkey, having a go at him is not going to get the problem sorted.
Felt better, though. I felt good. We should have had a punch-up.
I was like, at the end of the day, right, we booked first. We booked these seats. These people are going to get moved. Arguing is not going to change that.
Well, the problem is that they were saying, oh, let them stay there for now and we thought something out. No, don't. let us stay here and move them away and sort something out. Don't interfere with everyone. No one knows what's going on now. You just... Oh, I was so grumpy at the time. So grumpy.
You were very drunk.
I was very drunk. I was very right, though.
I mean, you were right, but...
Thanks. No.
In situations like that, being pleasant is more likely to get you what you want quicker.
I am pleasant.
You're a pleasure to play with.
I'm a pleasure to play games with, even when I'm raging. I'm a pleasure to... So occasionally I have to say that mantra when I'm very grumpy and accusing everyone of cheating in Apex Legends. Since the Endeavour is modular, do you think they will start working on the ship itself? It's going to be a long time before the Endeavour's worked on, in my opinion. It's one of those ships that's a long way out. Do you have any pics of the full Starkit armour, not just the helmet?
There are some out there.
Yeah, there are some out there. Me and Zin have been running around with the helmets and not the full suits.
I don't have the armour for some reason. Weird. But then again, I've got my Aves armour, but not the helmet.
Bird armour.
Bird armour. I've got the armour, but not the helmet, which is weird because I should have it all. But this is PTU, so...
So, question for Zin. Just how much rambling do you need to edit out on a usual basis?
I don't anymore. It depends what videos I'm doing.
So she'll ask me to re-record something if it's for a guide, if I've rambled?
Yeah, so if we're doing specific guides for specific things, I don't give a shit what his opinion is. Right?
Oh.
I want facts.
So the guides especially sort of need to be concise.
Yeah.
And I have the problem where I will just go off on tangents and I will talk about stuff and try and put it in context and I'll remember something else. And so that's hellish if you've got a script that you want someone to stick to. And just go blah, 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 blah.
But no, with his other videos, or most of his videos, he'll write a script and he may go off a bit, but it's not a problem because I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Zin, it is said you can get more flies with honey than vinegar, but if it's flies you want, corpses and bullshit work better. Okay. Thanks. What?
You can keep that in mind.
What's the Star Citizen Live Twitch? Star Citizen Twitch today? I don't know what it is today.
Somebody said it's live.
We might If it is live, we might pass over to them.
Yep, says they're live. They are live.
It is about Alpha 3.13. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you guys over to them. Thanks very much for spending some time with me and Zin. Thank you so much for the donations towards Zin's RAM. That is truly, thank you, like genuinely, because that saves me a load of money and means that we should get closer to 4K and being more efficient with timeframes and be able to get more content and that sort of stuff. So genuinely, thank you for that. And that is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, thanks for watching us today. If you've got any more questions or feedback, you can send them to me at contact@boredgamer.co.uk, or you can get me on my Discord, discord.gg/boredgamer. You can preface questions to Zin as well if you want, and I will try and get her to answer them. I'll try and get Zin and me to be playing some 3.13 when it is in a good state. I would like to get at least one gameplay stream a week, and 1 to 2 chatty streams. Looking forward to Theatres of War as well, actually, so that we can sort of like chat and play and mess around and that sort of stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. I am going to pass over to twitch.tv/StarCitizen. We will have a couple of videos coming out later today, or at least one of them. We've got 3.13 J PTU patch notes and sort of state of the PTU there, and we've got the Squadron 42 monthly report sort of compressed down with Zin actually helping with the script this time. So that's pretty useful. Right, love you guys. You take care.